There was a ruler named Akbar I, 1542 to 1605. He was the third ruler of the Mughal Empire, who expanded the state and became famous for his religious tolerance and interest in science and philosophical debates at court. His reign was one of the high points of the Mughal era. Sometime in the late 1570s, Akbar decided to empirically test the idea that speech is born from hearing. On his orders, several newborns were placed in a separate building where only mute wet nurses, Persian for zabān-basta, were allowed to enter, and he posted reliable guards so that the children would not hear any human speech. The place was nicknamed the House of the Mute. The goal was simple: to see if the children would speak naturally on their own. These details were recorded by the court historian Abul Fazl in Akbar-nama. The experiment ended on August 9, 1582, when Akbar personally visited the House of the Mute. Abul Fazl reports that Akbar heard neither cries nor speech. At the age of 4, they had no share in the talismans of speech. Nothing came from them except the noise of the mute. That is, the children did not speak at all. The historian Badauni tells a similar story. About 20 infants were kept in a secluded house, and after 3 or 4 years, they all turned out to be mute. Later, the anonymous treatise, Dabistan-i-Mazahib, drew a logical conclusion from this story that letters and language are not natural to man, but arise from learning and conversation. There is also independent testimony from the Jesuit Jerome Javier. Akbar himself told him that none of the children began to speak clearly. The experiment became an argument in favor of the idea that without audible speech, language does not appear, an idea that resonates with subsequent scientific views. In the broader context of Akbar's reign, this story is part of his ongoing intellectual experiments, from religious disputes to cultural unification projects. Akbar's experiment was the last in a series of such royal research projects which have been going on since ancient times. Let's start with Psammetichus I, an Egyptian pharaoh of the 7th century BC. He wanted to prove that Egyptian was the original language. 2 infants were isolated with a shepherd who was not allowed to speak. After 2 years, they uttered the word bekos, bread in Phrygian. The pharaoh concluded that the Phrygians were the most ancient people. Modern scientists believed that bekos was most likely ordinary baby babble that the pharaoh simply wanted to hear.
But the most tragic example is associated with Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II in the 13th century. Frederick, also driven by scientific curiosity, wanted to find the divine language. Nannies were ordered not only not to speak, but also, most horribly, not to caress or touch the babies. The result was catastrophic. All the children died. The historian Salim Beni the Adam recorded a brief but timeless conclusion. They could not live without affection. And here lies the key difference. Akbar's children survived, even though they remained mute. This means that although they were deprived of language, they were apparently left with care. Friedrich, on the other hand, showed that physical survival depends on emotional attachment. The royal experiments ceased, but they laid the foundation for one of the major discoveries in linguistics, the critical period hypothesis. Modern science, working with tragic cases such as Victor of Aveyron and Jeannie, children who were isolated from society, confirmed Akbar's correctness. Neurobiologist Eric Lenenberg argued that if a person does not master language before puberty, the brain irreversibly loses the ability to fully acquire it. Jeannie, found at the age of 13, was able to learn words. but her grammar and syntax remained permanently deficient. Her case, like the silence of Akbar's children, confirms that the window of opportunity closes. And in this lies the grim legacy of the House of the Mute. Language is not just an ability, it is a critical condition for becoming human. Without timely cultural input, without the sounds of speech, or importantly, without gestures, as the later legend of Akbar's children says, our brain cannot build the complex structure we call language. Akbar's experiment, which today can be classified as a monstrous violation of ethics, became the most convincing, albeit tragic, historical proof. Language is not innate. It is a gift that we receive only from the community, and we must protect this community. What do you think Akbar would have thought if he had found out that his nannies had taught the children sign language? Write about it in the comments. Thank you for watching.